Hey guys, this is Nefarious411 and welcome to episode 19 of The New Frontier. In the previous episode, we were taking a look at the T-Sun Craft related technology, some of the machines that we have here, like the electric furnace, crusher, plate former, and the alloy furnace. If you remember, we were actually having some issues with the input and the output of some of these devices, but I took a little bit of time in a creative world and I did find ways of fixing it. So let's take a look real quick. I created some importers and let me go ahead and grab some cables. I know that I mentioned before that I didn't really want to do importers because of the power consumption, but I think this is the only way that I'm going to be able to pull items out of the T-Craft or the T-Sun machines, because like extra utilities and even actually additions really don't see these devices as having an inventory, but fortunately it looks like the importers do. So let me go ahead and remove some of these pipes. I might as well just replace these. I have 4 over there, 3 over here, so 7 altogether. So let's go ahead and remove these. I think that was supposed to go in the network. Let me go ahead and remove that chest. There we go. And we'll just pop these guys right on the bottom here. Might just make the cable go through. It's kind of ugly, but that might be fine for now. I'll fix this up later. Guess I don't really need these. Well, I don't know. I'll play around with that later, but that does import into the network, and I can do the same thing with these hoppers. So let's go ahead and remove those hoppers and place these guys just like that, and we should be able to extract. So we can test this out real quick. If we were to take a look in here to see if we have anything, let's go ahead and grab some cobblestone and make some sand out of it using the crusher, and it should be able to pull. Oh, that makes gravel. Interesting. For some reason I thought cobble in a crusher, electric crusher, this crusher makes sand. Oh, okay. Interesting. So this electric crusher makes this. Can I crush that again? I don't know which crusher this is. Extra utilities crusher. What about this one? Alright, so I guess I crushed the gravel again and it makes sand. That is good to know. We'll play around with that. I've also been taking a look at the alloy furnace. If you remember, we were having some issues with the auto crafting because of the sides needed for this alloy furnace, and in my creative world I think I have figured it out, even though I believe I just lost one of my filters by breaking it. I think that's definitely a defect with extra utilities. If you break one of those transfer filters that has an item filter in it, kind of goes away. Alright, so let's go ahead and grab this chest. I am going to move this guy, and I am going to put him on the top, just like so, and the chest right next to it, and we will see why here in a little bit. So let me go ahead and put those patterns back in. The other thing that I noticed on the alloy furnace here, I think there's another defect with this in regards to the other recipe. So if I were to grab some coal and some iron, the cave ingot for steel says that in the alloy furnace it takes 8 coal and 1 iron ingot, but that's not exactly the case that I've been seeing. I've been able to put a single piece of coal in there and it works just fine. So let me change the down direction, and you can see that the import bus, or the importer, is able to pull it into the refined storage network. But I do want to go ahead and change this recipe because it seems random. Because if I were to have 4 coal in there and a single iron ingot, it just crafts 1 and it eats all of that coal. So I want to make sure that I'm only feeding 1 of these in there at a time. And with the hoppers, the way I had it, it was just dumping them all in there, and that wasn't good. So let's go ahead and clear that recipe, throw that back in there, and say 1 piece of coal. Oops, wrong direction. Let me just shift click that out of there. 1 piece of coal. And 1 of these guys equals a cave ingot steel. Just like that. Cool. And let's go ahead and come down here. And I think the other recipe already has that. 1 copper ingot, 1 tin ingot. I think it's supposed to be like 3 copper, 1 tin. But for some reason it still is able to output the bronze. That is where we discovered it in the last episode, but I didn't realize it was doing it for the steel ingots as well. So now it's just a matter of trying to figure out how to get items into this machine. So one of the options that I found kind of interesting, and that is going to bridge us into this next mod, cleaning up a little bit of this. And that mod is going to be XNet. So if you're not familiar with XNet, it's actually kind of an interesting mod where you have an XNet controller. Seems pretty simple to create this guy. Comparators, a couple of repeaters, and all of that, and then you're able to create these different type of network cables and connectors, and you're basically allowed to program the device to basically handle all of these different kinds of scenarios. So let me clean this up a little bit. I need a power cable, so let's go ahead and grab 1 of these cables. I only needed a couple. There we go. And that should be sufficient to power this, because this controller from XNet is controlled or powered by RF. So let's go ahead and create that guy. There's the machine frame. I need 2 repeaters, a comparator. There we go. And that is it. Cool. So I have a controller now. And let's go ahead and create a couple of connectors. I think I might only need 1, but let's go ahead and take a look at this user interface real quick. We can see nothing right now. Basically, we do have 8 channels to a controller, XNet controller, and we'll actually be able to see that here in a second as soon as I create a connector. And I think I'm just going to create a blue connector. You can have 4 different networks, basically using these different colored cables. I only need the 1, so let's go ahead and create the 1. And that's just a connector. Is that a blue connector? Does it really matter? I'm not sure if it actually matters. Let me just place that right there. And you can see that it not only connects to the controller, but it also connects to the alloy furnace and the chest. But actually, I think I need the advanced one. Ugh! I need a magnet or something. Eventually, that's on my to-do list, is to create a magnet, because I keep breaking things just like that. There we go. Alright, so let's go ahead and upgrade this guy. Throw that sand in there. And let's take a look at the advanced blue connector. Let's see if we can create this guy. There we go. Just advanced connector. That should be sufficient. It doesn't have to be blue or anything because we're only dealing with this one network. And whenever we look at the controller now, we can see everything that it's connected to. We don't really need to worry about this cable, but now we have the ability to look at the south, east, north, down. I think that's how the connectors are touching the item. So we're on the downside of the chest, so we can see that we're on the downside. The nice thing about the blue connector, we'll actually be able to interact with any side of the machine. So if I wanted to be able to pull out of a chest, we can actually come in here, and let's say that this is item. We can create. So now we can actually change it to any side. So it doesn't really matter what side the connector is actually touching that block. We'll be able to interact with any side. And this is actually going to help us quite a bit with this project. So what I want to do, I probably want the west side. No, that's south. South side is blue. So that's going to be this side. And then the north side is going to be green. There we go. Cool. So now we have those configured to north and south. So the south side is going to be this. So if I wanted to, I took a look at all of the different recipes for the alloy smelter. So if I did cave ingot, look at the recipe for this alloy furnace, clicked on the alloy furnace, and we can see that we have different recipes. These are for bronze, which is basically taking copper and tin, but remember, we only really need one of the copper and the tin, and it's able to produce. So that's one recipe. Electrum's another recipe. That was bronze, so we have two. Here's the cave steel, and that is 3. I think those are really the only recipes in here. The rest are bronze of the different combinations of the ore dictionary related ingots. So since we only have the 3 recipes, we can actually just program all of this completely. Probably need the pattern for Electrum in here as well. Might as well do that. So let's go ahead and come up here, grab one piece of gold, and that is lead. That is silver, but that's not the silver that I want, is it? Silver. Well, let's just use that hardcore ingot for now. Hardcore ore? Yeah. So let's go ahead and throw that guy in there. That guy in there. And let's just use the ore dictionary, I guess. And let's run downstairs and let's go ahead and craft this guy up. So if we put both of those in there, we get 2 Electrum ingots. There we go. Encode that pattern. Cool. Hopefully this will work. Let's go ahead and throw that in there. Cool. And now we have the 3 recipes that we need. And they are all taking just 1 item each. Alright, so now what we want to do, we want to configure some extractions out of the chest and into the machine. But we want to make sure that this is done in a smart way, because we don't want coal to go in there and maybe gold. So let's grab some gold, because if this particular combination were to go in there, nothing happens, machine is gummed up. So if we were to place coal in here, we want to make sure that only iron goes into the north slot. So how do we do that? Well, each channel in the XNet controller, we can configure this for just a few different things, like energy. So this channel can be energy related. We can have logic, and we'll actually look at that one. Item, we'll also look at that one. fluid, and that was it. So I think for channel 8, I am going to make this one a logic channel. And right now we could probably disable it temporarily so that it doesn't actually kick off anything. But we can use channel 8 for our logic. So let's say that we receive items in. So if we were crafting steel or electrum, it is going to put those into this chest. So whenever we detect that we have an item, we probably want to go ahead and take it out of the chest here. So if we say that channel 1 is item, let's go ahead and click on the chest slot, and we can create a rule for it. And right now you can see that it has an I, and that is in insert mode. We want to change that to E, which is extract. So we want to be able to extract coal, gold, and probably copper. So let's go ahead and grab some copper. There's some copper right there. I am not entirely sure which one is going to be doing that. Let's do bronze. Is that not on the network? Is that bronze? Copper and tin make bronze, right? Shouldn't that be correct? Bronze. Why am I not seeing that recipe? What about steel? Cave ingot? There's the electrum. There is the bronze. There we go. Oh, okay. Ew. These are called cave ingots. I don't really like that name. Would be nice if it actually came up with bronze, but if we were to craft this, we can see that it's actually using the hardcore ores. If we go ahead and start that, come down here, we'll be able to see them in our chest. So the first thing that I want to do is grab one of these guys and put him on the white list of things to be pulled out. There we go. And if it's going to be pulling out on the down position, so let me disable channel 1 for now. We want to be able to insert him into the alloy furnace. So now this is configured for insert mode on channel 1. And here we want to be able to the whitelist coal, gold, and copper. Just like that. And we want to make sure that there is only one of those going into the inventory, because if you remember, if it were to put multiple coal in there, it would just gum everything up, because it would actually create the steel from whatever coal is in there. So if we were to do it one at a time, everything should be happy. So just like that. We don't want any more coal to go in there. So that is why we're going to limit the amount in the destination inventory as 1. And that's going to go with the bronze as well. Whenever we put copper in there, we don't want to put multiple copper in there, because it'll actually miscreate that. Alright, so now that we have that, we want to be able to insert it. And why isn't that inserting? Because that is disabled. Alright, cool. So you can see that as soon as we enable channel 1, it actually puts that copper ingot in there. So now what we want to do is probably check to see what item is in the south slot, because we want to match up the appropriate ingot for the north slot. So that is why we have channel 8 for the logic channel. So whenever we come in here, we want to actually create a rule on the alloy furnace such that if there is an item greater than 0 of coal, we want to trigger red. So this is using colors internally so that you can send signals to some of the other channels for operation. So right now, if there's a piece of coal, it's just going to output red. right? So right now it's not actually doing anything. So we might as well configure the other two as well. So this is going to be that guy, and that's going to be that guy. Let's make sure that they're all greater than 0. And for gold, might do it on green. And for copper, it's going to be blue channel. Cool. So now let's take a look at channel 2. This is going to be an item channel. So let's go ahead and extract out of the chest. Let's go ahead and disable this for now. Only whenever we receive red. So we pair up iron with the coal. So that's going to extract iron out of the chest. And now we can insert on the north side whenever we get a red signal. Let me just circle back around to that. And that is going to be iron. And we only want 1 to go in there. Cool. So now we should be able to enable that, and that doesn't work because we do not have the recipe for that. So if we were to put coal in here and iron, we can see that it doesn't take out because of the fact that we have a copper ingot in there. So now let's go ahead and configure the others. And let's go ahead and do this one. So on this guy, we are going to extract gold. No, not gold. What was the electrum made out of? That is silver. We do not have silver on us. That's tin. Let's go ahead and grab some silver. Silver. There's some silver. Hopefully this will work on the ore data, or the ore dictionary. But if not, we'll have to reconfigure this. There we go. So now we have silver, and this is going to be on green channel. And we're going to insert this into the north slot whenever we receive a green signal. This guy. And we only want 1 in there. We do not want to match NBT or metadata. We do want ore dictionary. Let me just remove this and do ore dictionary by itself, and that should be fine. Don't have to worry about that with iron. We probably do need that with a copper. So let's go ahead and do those and ore. There we go. Cool. So now we're inserting on the green channel. So let's just double check this. So silver and gold is the green channel. So silver is the green channel. Alright, so let's go to channel 4. Create that guy. Disable him temporarily so it doesn't actually do things. And let's go ahead and extract this, which is going to be tin. So let's go ahead and grab the tin out of here for now. And let's go ahead and whitelist that guy. And it doesn't matter which side we're extracting on, but we do need to make sure that this is on the blue channel, because over here we are making bronze using the blue channel. Same thing on the insert side on the alloy furnace. Let's make sure that we do the north side blue. We only want 1 item to go in there, and this is going to be tin. And that should be it. So let's enable that guy. We can see that we have the copper in here. Let's go ahead and throw the tin, and that should pull out. Let me just double check this. South side, one of these. Wonder. Let me take that out real quick. Throw that in there. Does this work? Figured it out. I forgot to enable channel 8. So let's go ahead and just double check our channels here. And channel 8 enable, and that produces that. Alright, cool. So let's double check with this guy and that guy. We can actually safely put the tin in here and not have to worry about it getting pulled out, because we're using the coal, copper, and gold as the indicator of what we're trying to make. So if we put that in there, it inserts the copper first, and then it pulls out the tin, it produces that, imports it into the system, and it's good. Nice. Very, very cool. I think that's actually all we needed. So if we were to come up here and we were to do Tison, no, not Tison, cave. Let's go ahead and, oops, take these guys out of the system. And let's say 20 of those, 20 of those, 20 of those. Let's run down here real quick and make sure that everything is getting inserted. And as you can see, it is inserting into this chest, and it's able to craft these guys up. So far, so good. See, now that it got coal in there, it knew to put iron. There we go. Doesn't look like it's rendering correctly. I'm just curious if this is going to gum up the system. Looks like iron is going before the coal, which is kind of interesting. That shouldn't happen. I am not sure why that's happening. I wonder if it's because of the ore dictionary matching. Maybe. Let me remove those for now. Let me just make sure that it's, well, that's still showing the iron in there. This might actually work. Well, it does seem to be working without any kind of issues here. And that is going gold and silver. Nice. I'm happy with it. So this system is a lot more stable than using hoppers. Less chance of any kind of accidents happening. And we only had to configure a few channels on the XNet controller, which is very, very handy. And that completed. Nice. So if we come up here, I'm actually making some solar panels, but we can take a look at our cave ingots, and it did create 28 bronze? Why did it create 28 bronze? I don't know. That was kind of weird. But it was able to at least create all of those, and I am happy with that. That is actually a pretty good build. We were able to utilize a different mod to actually get this to work, which I am very happy about, because it's nice to be able to get some of these mods to work together. We might actually come back to XNet at some point, because there's many different things that you can do, such as hooking up different controllers together. XNet. Might as well create the book for it. Don't think I really need it, but might as well create one. Wow, I do not have any of those. Let's see, do I have leather? I do. Let's go ahead and grab some of these. Grab some sugar. There's some sugar cane. Let's go ahead and craft up some books. It is not a bad idea to have books on hand. There we go, cool. Boop, just like that. And we have an XNet manual, and this has all of the different things that we can do, such as the channel types, some of the advanced networking capabilities for transferring energy, and all of that stuff. So it might be worthwhile to take a look through this. Looks like there's only 13 pages, so it's really not a lot to go through. But since I've already got that done, I am going to put that manual right there. And we can go ahead and end that. So let me clean up some things. Let me just run this a couple more times just to make sure that everything is going to function. I have a feeling that I might have some issues with these cave ingots. I don't like that they're called cave ingots, because I don't want to have to type cave whenever I'm looking for electrum, because if I look for electrum, it doesn't appear. That is not helpful. I want something to actually show in the grid whenever I type electrum. So let me figure that one out, and I'll be right back. Alright, I am back, and we have reached that wrapping up point, but I think before we end it off for today, I would actually like to take a look at Ore Dictionary mod. And there actually a couple of converters in here, so let's go ahead and create some of this just to take a look at how this is done. There we go. An ore conversion table, which will be kind of interesting. Automatic ore converter. I wonder if I need one of these as well. Let's go ahead and do that. Create some planks. Only need the one. There we go. Crafting table. Kind of interesting recipe for that. Ore dictionary. Let's go ahead and craft that guy, and let's go ahead and craft up one of these as well. And let's go ahead and take out one of our ingots, for example silver, and let's put these guys down, and we can see whenever we put this in here that it shows all of the ore dictionary related items. So if I were to do that, I can actually pull out a different ingot, which is very cool. And this is just the ore conversion table for the automatic ore conversion. So what we want is probably to figure out which one of these silvers do we actually want in the system, because I've been having an issue with like copper. We can see that there's actually a couple of different types of copper. I don't think we have. Well, we have cave copper too. So since that's the case, we probably want to convert them all into a single type. I've been having some issues with some of the recipes over time whenever we have these different ore types. So let's take a look. I don't want to use the cave ingots because of the fact that I don't want to type cave. I want to type silver. So probably one of these. So if I take a look at silver, we can see that this one, which is this one right here, I wish it actually showed on this tooltip, is the Tech Expansion. This is Tech Reborn. This is Hardcore Ores. I don't like those. It's not Minecrafty for me, so I might go with the Tech Expansion one. So let's go ahead and grab the Tech Expansion. So the way I'm going to do this, I am probably going to come down here and I am going to put this automatic ore converter down just like that. And now we want to be able to set the target to this particular type of ingot. And let's go ahead and put an exporter bus right there, an exporter, and run a piece of cable. And we want an importer on this side. But before we do the importer and exporter stuff, let's go ahead and see this guy in action. So let's grab that kind of silver. And what other silvers do we have in here? There we go. That is Tech Reborn. So if we throw that in there, you can see that it automatically converts those into that target type. Same with all of those hardcore ores. So that is pretty cool. So now if we were to put an importer on this and throw different metals in here, it's able to go ahead and convert those into a single type. So if I wanted to, I can place random things. I can grab some silver, come down here, and I want to not compare ore dictionary. So we only want to export these silver. And we can see that it's now exporting all of these hardcore ore from the hardcore ore mod, all of those silver ingots in here, and it is converting it into the Tech Expansion ingots. So if we were to look in our system now, we can see that the number of those are going down quite a bit. So we should be able to do the same on a lot of these. So if I grab this lead, come over to my conversion table, I can say I want this guy for some reason. I don't know why. Tech Expansion. I like those kinds of ingot look right there. And let's say lead can be exported in here as well, and you can see that it is actually doing that, and that is very cool. So a combination of using this ore conversion table and the automatic converter, putting the appropriate whitelist on my exporter, it will be able to convert all of the ores to a single type, and I think that's going to help us quite a bit on our recipes. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that for the other types, including like electrum and I think yellorium. There might be a couple of those. Yellorium, yeah, I think I would prefer the extreme reactors one. I don't know why. It's just something more that I'm used to. And let me go ahead and put that table there. Throw this guy in. Oh. Can I not convert these guys? Well, that kind of stinks. Wonder if I can convert it into the dust. Well, apparently I can't convert the yellorium. I guess that's not too big of an issue, but we should be able to at least do some of these others like tin. So let's go ahead and grab tin real quick, and let's convert that one into that one. Let's say that's our target, and convert tin by exporting it in here, and it's able to do it. Obviously, we're getting a little bit of backlog here, and I think the way to deal with that is to go ahead and create the upgrades. There are the stack upgrades and the speed upgrades, so I probably want to go ahead and create a stack upgrade as well. So let's go ahead and create the pattern for that. Apparently I don't have any wow, I don't have any redstone. Alright, looks like it's mining time, but I'm gonna have to wrap it up for today. This was pretty interesting, being able to use the automatic ore converter. I do want this to go quite a bit faster. I can at least use the speed upgrades that I have now. It's still just doing ingot by ingot, but it's quite a bit faster, and hopefully this can actually keep up. Yeah, I might not have to do the stack upgrade, to be honest. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So I really hope that you enjoyed the episode. We might play again with the XNet controller later in the series. I think it's a good way to automate things by being able to pull out of inventories, push it into others. Haven't played around with the different types of channels here, such as fluid or energy, but we might be able to do something with that at a later date. So I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you could rate and comment down below, it'd be greatly appreciated. And also, if you like the series, please hit that subscribe button. But for now, this is goodbye.